everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I have a special guest by the name of Gerardo Ortiz. I'm kidding. This is my fiance.
Nice to say fiance.
Yay! Our video today is gonna be about how we met, how I reacted, how he reacted, how this came to be, this bond. Okay, so make sure you are all subscribed if you are new to my channel. Hit that subscribe button and comment down below and share with your friends and family. Okay, so I am 2 years younger than Gera. Right?
Yeah.
Or 4. I'm kidding. No, I'm 2 years younger than Gera. So we met in high school. I was a sophomore and he was a senior. So we basically I had never seen him in throughout my 2 years. Right here. Throughout my 2 years, I never even seen him in high school. And
yeah, it's weird because when you go to high school, you see people. You see a lot of people, and then even if you see them outside school, you say that guy goes to Pacifica.
Yeah, even if you don't talk to them, you recognize people. Like you say, oh yeah, she goes to Pacifica. But I had never seen him. But
where Pacifica is? What?
What?
What's Pacifica?
What do you mean what's Pacifica?
What? They don't know what Pacifica is?
My high school.
Okay.
Our old high school?
Yeah.
Anyway, so I had seen his best friend because his best friend and my cousin knew each other. But I had never seen him, which is so crazy. Like, to me, that's so crazy.
Never.
Okay, so then fast forward to starting sophomore year for me, senior year for him. I remember I had a Spanish class with, we just had Spanish class. And I remember, actually, I think I remember seeing you the first day, but you have a different story than me.
You don't remember seeing me the first day.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
No, I do. Babe, remember I told you that I walked in and you were just chilling like that with the white t-shirt? But you say that.
I don't even think I had a white t-shirt.
See what I mean? So we have two different stories. So
first of all, I wouldn't wear plain white t-shirts the first day of school.
Why?
I would have worn a better t-shirt, if anything. Because it's the first week.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, well, this is what I remember. I remember walking into my Spanish class with my little bolsita, because I used to wear those handbags, like the big one, the big handbags. Yeah. Por eso no crecí. No, but I used to wear those. I used to use those handbags and put on my notebooks and everything else. And I remember walking in and I remember seeing him just briefly. I didn't even pay attention to him. I was like, eh. I was over there volada with otro guy probably. No. No, but
no, look,
no, wait, hold on, I'm not done. And then I remember walking in and then seeing him, and I clearly remember seeing him with a white t-shirt, and he was kind of like that, for me, this is my story. You're gonna tell yours. So then he was kind of like that. And then I just remember passing by him, and I remember sitting at the very end. And you say that's not true.
That's true. I told you that.
No. I remember sitting right when you enter the classroom, right on the first row. But you say no, which is crazy.
What do you mean by the first row?
So let me describe to you how this classroom was. So
just draw a picture or something for the can't see it.
So you walk in, and as soon as you walk in to your left, there's seats. So the teacher, I was gonna say professor. The teacher has seats facing each other. So there were seats this way and there were seats this way, like that. So I remember walking in and then sitting in the first row. And I remember seeing you en el otro lado de ella.
So you're saying you sat on the left hand side?
On the left, pero en la primera línea. On the first row as soon as you came in. That's what I remember.
No, that first row, right when you walked in, that first row. No.
Okay.
Then how did I see you walking by?
See, I don't know.
No.
Okay, anyway, so then that's what I remember. You tell them what you remember.
No, look, I remember it was the first day of school. And I walked into class. And there was another student there that I had for the previous year, and she was your friend.
We had a mutual friend.
You know who she is.
Which, you know who you are.
Shout out to you.
Shout out to you, because that's why we're together.
That's why we're here.
Okay, and then?
But enough of that.
We'll get to that.
So I walked in, and then I sat on the left-hand side, like she's saying the left-hand side. But mine was like the very last row. Like, I'm not saying it was the last row over there, but it was like the row in the back. Right?
Yeah.
But like on the middle. Like not on the sides, but on
So this is the classroom, the seats facing this way, you said hasta atrás.
Yeah, in the very, very like far wall, right? So I was just there, and then, you know, when everyone walks in, you see like, oh, who do I have for this class or whatever. So I was looking who was walking in. And then I see this girl right here walking in with her big old bag and her blonde, her blonde, what are they called?
Highlights?
Okay.
I have those ugly, those highlights.
Those highlights and then with your big old copete.
With my bangs. So I used to have my bangs like that to the side, but they were huge. They were literally like this.
Like a big bang.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you so I was here, right? I was here, and then you walked in front of me like this, right? So I saw when you were walking by, and I was like, oh, who's that girl right there, right? But when I first saw you, you looked you looked a little bit stuck up. So I was like, esta creída no tienes.
You did nothing.
I did.
I'm kidding. He told me later on that he said that, which is crazy because I'm nothing like that.
And then
I'm not like that.
And then that's all I said. Like that's all that comes to my mind. And then that was that.
You didn't. That was our first encounter. I have a different story than he does, which is weird, but I don't know. I think I'm right. You say it. I don't know. But I also didn't really pay much attention.
I don't think you're right because you didn't really see me. You don't really remember seeing me.
I just remember seeing
and
you
I remember
I
strictly remember seeing you walking by like that. So
I don't know.
You weren't on the first row.
Who knows? Then I never really saw you again. I never really.
No, I didn't really paid much attention to you after that day.
Yeah. So it was just like, because he thought I was like which I'm not. But then they changed seats because you know the first days or first weeks or
like the first 2 weeks.
The first 2 weeks you can sit wherever because she doesn't have like a seating chart. So basically we were just sitting, like I was sitting next to my friends and he was just, I don't know where he was. So then they finally assigned us seats. And I remember, and then whatever, so I got assigned seats and I sat at the very front, like literally like.
Yeah,
so
left
again,
hand side, right? Left hand side.
The second row, the very first seat. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't, so basically the seats were like this, and there was like this, and there's a big gap in the middle. I was sitting on this side and at the very front, so the very front seat. I just minded my own business until one day, I don't remember like how many, probably like the third or fourth week. Cause then you went to, when did you go to the San Francisco game?
I don't know, like mid-September? Late September?
So that had to be like really early. As soon as they switched the seat, I remember I was at the very front and I was doing my work and we used to read like a libro.
And I was across from you but in the very back.
Yeah, and he was like, so like this, and I was at the very front and then he was at the very back across from me.
Yeah.
So I remember just doing my work, minding my own business, reading, because we had to like read the Spanish book and then answer questions. Remember how many questions. She used to give us a lot of questions.
Yeah, we used to answer questions from the book, right?
Yeah, a lot.
Okay, so what happened?
So then I remember doing my work, and then you know when you have like a feeling that someone's staring at you? Well, that's the feeling that I had. So then I remember just like doing my work and then looking up, and literally like straight across from me, there's Gera.
Yeah.
And I just remember doing this, and then I saw him, and we kind of locked eyes,
Yeah.
and then I was just like, I was kind of like, he's looking at me, and like, you know, you're a girl, and you just like, you get shy, you get nervous.
Yeah.
So then I was like, oh my god, that guy is looking at me, like, and I had no idea who he was. So whatever. So then I continued doing my work, and I remember looking up again, and he was still staring at me. Like, you were just staring at me
right?
again. Yeah. And I was like, oh my
because when I saw that you saw me, like I looked down too, like I was.
Yeah. So we kind of locked eyes for a little bit, and then I looked down, and he obviously looked down. The second time, I remember looking up, and then we stared again into
for like a good 4 seconds.
Yeah, like we were just like.
And I was like, hopefully she looks away first.
I didn't say that.
Maybe I did.
I looked down again because I was shy. I was so embarrassed and nervous and anxious because I never had that in my life.
You have someone look at you?
I mean, not like just a random guy just look at me. Like, just staring at me, like, and I was like, like, you just get nervous, and I was a sophomore. And I was like, who's this guy?
Yeah.
Whatever, and then I don't remember much.
But before that day, I had already seen you.
That I was at the front?
Yeah, and I used to kind of look at you already.
Uh-huh.
Probably like 2 days before.
Really?
Yeah, until that day that you called me.
So then, what happened after that? So I saw him, and then I looked down, and then whatever, we like continued, right? Is that the same day that I saw you? Did you ask a friend?
No.
Okay, so then.
It was days after.
So then whatever, the bell rang, and we each went to our classroom. So then for a few days, every day I was like going into class, freaking nervous because this guy was gonna be staring at me, and I hated going because I was at the very front. And keep in mind, I didn't used to wear makeup. No. My nose used to get so red. You don't remember that?
I don't remember that you got
no
red.
me ponías atención, but my nose used to get super red. So I was so embarrassed because I was like, oh my god, this guy's looking at me, and my nose is so red. And my nose used to, because I have like redness to my face, but just my nose specifically would get red, and I think it was like the nervios or something. So then I remember
very shiny nose.
So then I remember just covering up with a book because I was so.
I don't remember that.
I remember that because se me ponía la nariz bien roja.
Okay.
So me tapaba con el libro.
So you wouldn't see.
Yeah, I was excited, but I was nervous because I've never had this, and it was something new, and I was like, oh my god, this guy's gonna be looking at me, and I'm embarrassed, and blah 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 blah, whatever. So then
it was maybe like a week after.
Mm-hmm.
After that happened, or like 4 days or so. I don't remember, but it was like a week after.
Mm-hmm.
The bell rang to go to the next class.
Yeah, like for the next period.
Yeah, for the next period.
It was third period, huh? Third period Spanish, and then we would go to fourth period.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the bell rang, and who did I?
Why'd you go?
Who did I ask that I told you? Hey, who's?
Our friend. I don't want to say names.
That one? The same one? Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Alright. So, okay. So the bell rang to go to the next period.
Mm-hmm.
And you had left already. You had left the building outside.
Yeah.
And that friend.
Our mutual friend.
Yes, the one that was there since the first day.
Yeah.
That I told you. Yeah. She was there, and then I asked her, "Hey, who's the girl that sits right there in the first seat in that section right there?" And she kind of thought about it, and she was like, "Huh." And then she asked.
My best friend.
Yeah, another friend. He's like, hey, do you know who sits there in that chair? And she's like, oh yeah, I think Fanny sits there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, wait, what's her name?
Who?
And they're like, Fanny. I think she sits there. That's what they said.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, her name's Fanny? She's like, yeah. And then I told her, well, tell her I said hi. And then she said, wait, but how is she gonna know who you are?
You're so full of yourself.
How is she gonna know who you are? And I'm like, oh, trust me, she'll know.
Obviously he knew I was gonna know because he was the one that used to look at me all the time.
Yeah.
Anyway, so after he did that, I remember I had my best friend and the girl he had asked who sits there. I had them both for the next period. So I remember going into like 4th period and I was sitting on my seat and then all of my friends and them too, they come to me and they're like, oh my God, Fanny, like they made a big old deal. Yeah. This guy, he said hi to you. And I was like, who? Like Messia, come on. Messia. I pretended I didn't know who he was, but I was like, who? And they're like, this guy, the one in Spanish class, he sits in the back. And I was like, oh, and I was like, literally like, this was me, like with all my girlfriends around me. I was like, and they're like, this guy said hi. And I was like, who? Pero ya sabía que era
he's a senior. They
told
you that.
They probably said like, he's a senior, Fanny, oh my God, blah, 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 blah. And then I was just like, oh my God, it was so funny that I pretended I didn't know. But I knew, I knew, yeah. Whatever, so then our friend, let's call her Jessica. So Jessica then told me like, do you want me to tell him something back or whatever? Mm-hmm. And I was like,
what did you say?
I think I said yeah.
They never told me anything.
I think I said yeah, like, oh yeah, tell him I said hi. Yeah. But deep down I wanted to be like, whatever. So I think I said like, oh, tell him I said hi. Whatever. And then that happened. And then a few days later or the next day, I don't know what. Or did you give her that number that same day?
I think it was that same day.
Yeah. So I remember putting it in my binder. He gave our friend Jessica
my number.
His phone
number.
When
I said, tell her I said hi. And tell her that here's my number.
Yeah, I forgot about that. And then they brought it to me and I was like, okay. And I just put it in my binder and I never hit him up. Me hice de rogar.
But you saw it.
I know.
I gave you my number.
Uh-huh.
And then like a day passed and then 2, 3, whatever. And then without any text or anything like that.
You didn't hear anything from me?
No, and then I was like, no, I don't think this girl's interested.
Aww.
I don't think this girl's interested. So after that I was like, whatever. So I didn't really like look at you that much anymore in class.
Aww, I still remember you looking at me.
No, not the same.
I decided to give him my number.
Yeah, it was so random too. It was a random day. I think it was like...
It was the day...
That's probably like a week after this happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably like a week after.
I decided... So I think I've told you this before, like, I wasn't sure if to give him my number or not. But I basically talked with some of my like friends and they're like, you should just give it a try. Like, why not? What is it hurt? I told you that, huh? Yeah, and I was like, okay, let me just, see what this is all about. Like, you never know. And then I remember writing my número de teléfono, my old phone number. Remember my old phone number?
I still remember it.
What is it?
Just block it out, huh? I still remember it.
No te acuerdas?
I remember it, but like a veces se me olvida.
And then, so I remember writing my phone number, and then I gave it to Jessica, our friend.
Yeah.
And again, Jessica's not her real name, but we just don't want to use her name. But we gave it to Jessica.
When did you give it to her?
I don't know.
Before class? During class?
Well, I had her for a lot of periods because we were in the academy, so I probably before, the period before, because I think I had missed out. We had English together. So the period previous to
Spanish. Maybe not the previous period because she waited until I went to the restroom.
Pero ella lo tenía.
Maybe I went to the restroom, and then you kind of signaled her, and like.
I don't know. But anyway, I
know.
wrote my number, and I gave it to Jessica, or I don't know how I gave it to her. I don't know if I gave it to her the period before or like during, or I don't know, or if I texted her. I don't know. But I basically gave it to her so she can give it to him because Jessica and Gera used to sit next to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like really, really close.
Yeah.
But, yes. So I went to the restroom.
I was so nervous.
Remember, I went to the restroom, and when I came back, I sat down, and then Jessica told me, "Hey, Fanny told me to give you that." And it was a little paper like that. I think it was pink. I think it was a pink paper.
Pink?
Yeah.
Aww.
And then I opened it up and it was her phone number and I was like No, I didn't like that.
Yeah, deep inside. And I remember covering up but I think they gave it to you casi cuando se iba a acabar la class. I think it was on a Friday. It was on a Friday.
Yeah, it was on a Friday because that day I left. Yeah.
So then he opened it up and I was like, and then I think you looked at me and I looked at you.
I don't remember.
We probably made eye contact again.
Okay, I don't remember that part.
I don't know.
So I'm not gonna say yes or no.
Maybe.
Okay, so I got it and I think I put it in my pocket. Yeah, I think I put it in my pocket. Oh, and I specifically remember, you know how jeans have a little pocket?
Yeah.
I put it on the little small pocket.
Para que no se perdiera.
Para que no se tirara. I was like, no se va a tirar este número.
You're like...
So, but I waited. I didn't want to text you like right there or like in lunch or anything. So I waited until like later on during the day.
No, so then let me go back. So that day, I think it was on a Friday. I'm sure it was on a Friday because I was in this academy and we used to volunteer a lot. Yeah. So we went to Barnes & Noble. We went that day to read to children. So, and it was really cool. So I remember we were there with like our class and then I was with my best friend and we were already leaving because ya era noche. And I remember I got a text. I remember it was late already. It was like probably like 9 or 10. Because a esa hora ya nos íbamos.
Yeah.
Del Barnes & Noble.
Yeah.
So then I got a text and then it said like, hi. Do you know who this is?
Wait. But keep in mind when I texted you, I was on my way to San Francisco.
Oh yeah, so.
In the back seat. And I was like, oh, well, here goes nothing.
A ver si la contesta.
I'm going to send her this text and let's see how it goes. And I remember saying, hey.
Didn't you say
no,
hey?
I said hey.
Hey
no.
or hi? Hi, do you know who this is?
Yeah. I said hi, do you know who this is? And you put
No, and then over there with my best friend, I remember I got the text and I was like, oh my god, he texted me. Oh my god, we were like
Really?
we were coming out of Barnes & Noble and then we were like, oh my god, he texted me and then I put like, no, who is this?
And when she said, I already knew that you were gonna say like no or who is this, but you knew who it was, right?
Yeah, I really knew. But I had to
like
be hard to get. I need to be hard to get. And basically that's how we met and that's how we got to know each other and then from there on like.
Yeah, we started getting to know each other after that. And then like a couple months after when I asked you out?
Yeah, he asked me to be his girlfriend. But yeah, that's basically it. I mean, there was like other things in between there, but that's how we actually met. That's how we first saw each other. That's how we first like got in contact with each other and all that stuff. So
if you're watching this,
Jessica, that's not her real name.
You know who you are.
I'll tag her. Sure.
Yeah, tag her.
I'll send her this.
Yeah.
But it's not Jessica. We just didn't want to say her name because we don't know if she wanted her name out there.
I wouldn't have been here with this lovely person without our friend Jessica.
I always tell her every time on Instagram, yeah. This was 9 years ago. This is crazy, 9 years ago. But I hope you all enjoyed this video. We love sharing this story time. If you want a video together on like our first date. Remember our first date?
First date?
Yeah, our first date. please make sure to comment down below. Give it a big thumbs up. Make sure you are subscribed to my channel. That means a lot to me. And also make sure to share and comment down below. Comment down below if you have any questions. If you just want to show some love. No, make sure to subscribe to my channel. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you all on our next video.
Alright, peace guys.
Where do we even start? It was back in
49.
Look at me now.
Game paper.
Okay.
Candy.
Oh my god. Okay. What happened?
Why with the fishing rod?
Because you fish me. Out of all those fishes, you're like.
Oh. Okay. No.
To do it.
No, you asked me to.
Okay, I asked
You asked me.
1, 2, go. She has makeup on because she had her dance. Go. Her dance pictures. Go.
Go do it first.
Wait, do it right. Do it again. Come on, before we leave. Go. Get in the frame. There. 1, 2, go.
I'm the new head out here.